Bea Arthur, may she rest in peace. But if she were here, I am sure that she would be watching the show, whose actress playing Bea's mother is with us today. Cookie Dough, welcome.
Well, thank you.
And you're here today to talk about the Golden Girls, the Christmas episodes.
Correct. Yes, we are here. We're doing our 6th year.
Wow.
Holiday tradition.
And how is it that a show that ran how many episodes?
180 episodes,
Only
7
had
seasons.
2 holiday shows.
Isn't that crazy? And the other one, the Valentine show, was a flashback episode. So any other holidays, they just didn't do many.
Yeah. So tell us about the Golden Girls as you produce it, and you are Sophia.
I am Sophia Estelle-Getty. Yeah.
And these are actually the scripts from the TV show.
Yes, we take the actual scripts. I usually sit and transcribe them from the DVD over and over. And if there's anything that doesn't work in terms of a name, like one time they used the name Janet Gaynor, and we thought, the audience isn't going to know Janet Gaynor, so we put Doris.
Oh boy, I just feel old.
I know Janet Gaynor, but so we put in the name Doris Day, which kind of worked a little.
It's a little less gay, but not much.
Right. But I think a little more, she had the case of restaurant, the whole, But other than that, we stay truthful and faithful to the scripts because we have rabid fans. And the rabid fans come, and if we do too much deviation from what's going on.
Right. Now, when you say rabid fans, you mean Tranny Shack rabid fans, Cookie Dough rabid fans, or Golden Girls rabid fans?
Golden Girl rabid fans, yes. Because we started off, when we first started off, in the parlor of a friend's mansion over in Alamo Square. And we had 50 seats, a small little stage. And we had our regular audience members. They would come. We started in June 6 years ago. And they would either come to multiple times during that run, or they would wait and come to the next run. And they just loved the Golden Girls. I guess then it was Lifetime. It had been on Lifetime for 12 years. Yeah. Now it's on Hallmark. So they had come maybe to see, myself, Cookie Dough fans or Heclina fans or Pollo DeMar, Matthew Martin. They all came to see us, but definitely the Golden Girls.
Yeah. And why do you think the TV show has become, and I think this is true, kind of one of those shows that quote-unquote gay people just love?
I think because of the issues. The writing is spectacular. You can't match some of the writing in today's, usually there's a lot of vulgarity and a lot of, gratuitous sex, even on the sitcoms. So then it was just kind of like double entendres, and they were tackling issues that weren't very mainstream, AIDS and gay marriage. So I think that really... Before
those issues really even came into some newscasts.
Right, because they started in 1985. The show ran from 85 to 92. So you had, kind of parallel with Designing Women, but I think the writing on the Golden Girls is just much funnier.
Well, and also, what a spectacular cast. Rue McClanahan, Bea Arthur, Estelle-Getty,
yes.
Betty White.
Betty White.
I learned something today that evidently when they started the Golden Girls, the two characters, Blanche, the one, kind of the loose lady,
yes.
and Betty White's character were going to switch because Betty White in the Mary Tyler Moore Show played kind of a floozy.
Right, Sue Ann Nivens, yes.
And so they decided that...
Right. Well, Betty White didn't want to just do another Sue Ann Nivens. She says, well, I've already played that. And so I guess as an actress, it was the challenge of playing something a little different. And then Rue McClanahan, remember, was Maude's best friend on Maude, which goes way back to, All in the Family days, back in the early 70s. So, and she was kind of the mousy, little neighbor friend. And so for her to kind of be a sex pot, it challenged her, I think, as an actress as well.
Right. Now, what is it like playing an iconic role made iconic by someone like Estelle-Getty?
Well, Estelle-Getty, was a Broadway star,
yeah.
Which I didn't know that at first, and then, you do a little history and a little research. I love her, It's so fun because Heclina and I started this 6 years ago. We had done it with some other friends maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and then we decided, let's bring it back and let's see what we can do with it. And I had played Sophia, and I just love her wit. I kind of have a little shuffle, and of course the purse. I've got a garage full of wicker purses, but this one is the King Kong of them all. So it's fun because she's just so sharp-witted, and she'll just kind of, it's like she's asleep, and then she'll just spurt out something, and it's funny.
Now, what's the difference between Sophia and Cookie?
Well, not much. According to some people, because I'm kind of labeled the nicest queen in San Francisco, or one of the nicest queens in San Francisco. But I tend to also kind of say something that just sounds a little dingy. Now granted, I'm not dingy, and I'm not dumb, sort of like in the Rose Nylund sort of way, but every once in a while I'll say something and it's kind of from left field.
Right.
So it's kind of nice to get lost in Sophia's character.
Now this is Cookie's voice, but
Yes.
is it Sophia's voice in the show?
Well, the one thing, and I really can do character voices at times, and sometimes they're so effortless. But with Sophia, what happens is I try to get into the Italian, New York Italian, and sometimes it comes out a little more either New York Jewish or a little bit, so it's kind of like, it kind of comes out a little more like that, So I do have to work with it. It depends on the monologue and or the scene, where I'm able to kind of channel a little more of Estelle's voice or Sophia's voice.
Right.
A lot of times when I'm working with Dorothy, Heclina is Dorothy Spornak, when we have our more touching moments, with the whole sit down pussycat, I want to tell you something, you're a nice person, and so sometimes like that, but her voice gets a little higher, and then so it's harder to project in the theater. So that's one of the things I kind of like kick myself, because it's like, oh, her voice is so perfect. So it's always a work in progress.
Now, the rights to the Golden Girls are owned by who?
I believe they were with World of Wonder, and then I think maybe Disney.
So what do they think about this?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we've been doing it for 6 years, and we haven't heard anything. However, I have met one of the writers who actually wrote the Brady Bunch movies, Very Brady sequel and the Brady Bunch movie. His name is Stan, and he hasn't been able to come up from LA to see it, but he loves it. He loves the idea. And then I also was having a garage sale one day, and a woman came by, and I was selling like the Easy Bake Oven, all this like stuff in my garage. And she says, oh, have you ever heard, I told her I use these for props for drag. And she goes, oh, have you heard of these Golden Girls, this drag Golden Girls?
And were you at the garage sale as Cookie or as Eddie?
No, it was just as Eddie, as myself.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I told her I played Sophia, and so we got to talking. She had written for Laverne and Shirley, and she had wrote 2 episodes of the Golden Girls that were never aired. And it was pretty amazing, because here I am talking with an actual writer.
And she didn't even know, and a writer from the Golden Girls.
Yeah, and so it was all this kismet. So, I mean, who knows what people think. I mean, we're here to just entertain and have fun with it.
Now, before you were entertaining as Cookie Dough.
Yes.
Boy named Eddie, 3rd generation San Franciscan.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Did your parents come to see the Golden Girls?
Yes, my mom has passed for a while, but my dad and his girlfriend, they've come to see it probably 2 or 3 times. They don't get out at night as much, so they love it. They think it's cute, because they say, oh, are you still doing your skits?
Your skits?
Yeah. It's like, are you still doing your skits? But they love it. My dad's 75, and his lady friend is 83, and they kind of can relate. Yes, she's a cougar. Oh, let me tell you. But yeah, they love it. My nephews, I have twin nephews, and their children have come. They live in Florida now, but they came to see last year, and they just had a blast. They're in their 30s, and then the one son is 12, and the wife, and they just love it.
Yeah. A lot of people, myself included, leave a state to come to San Francisco to become gay men. What is it like coming out as a gay kid in San Francisco?
Right, well, we briefly touched on that earlier. So I did grow up here, and of course, I went to Balboa High School, and kind of like hung out with the rock and roll, Budweiser drinking, Marlboro smoking.
You were the butch gay guy.
Kind of, well, I mean, I knew inside, it's like, okay, I know I'm gay. But I kind of ran with the crowd, and so I couldn't really. It was hard to come out here. So I had met my first partner in the Castro, and I was 19, actually 18, and he was moving to Phoenix, and so he said, "Do you want to go?" And I why not? So I moved to Phoenix, and I came out in Phoenix, Arizona.
Came out of it's the name of a sitcom. I came out in Phoenix.
Came out in Phoenix, and it was actually good because I was able to have like that freedom to not feel like I had to look around every corner to for a high school friend or whatever. But the wonderful thing is I've reconnected with some high school friends over the years, and either they were shocked or it was like, whatever, I mean, it's no big deal, and it's wonderful because I still have like 30+ year friendships, from high school. And
do you consider yourself a drag queen or an actor?
Probably a drag queen first. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be an actor, but I didn't study it as diligent as I wish I would have. I do still feel it's a work in progress, and I do watch some of these talent shows. And if I see anybody that's 40 or over and they're still doing it and they're still working on it, it just gives me hope. There's this one guy on this, the X Factor. He's 60 years old, and he looks great, and he's got a great voice. And I thought, it's an inspiration. So I don't have to feel like there's a time limit for what I do, And I worked with a lot of great local performers. I used to do the tech work at Josie's Cabaret and Juice Joint.
Oh boy, don't we all miss that place?
I was talking with Tom outside about that, and I worked there for almost 4 years as their lighting and sound person. And just all the people, Matthew Martin, Trauma Flintstone, Ethel Merman, Lady Bunny, Lip Sync, Tom, Leah Delaria, Marga Gomez. I mean, the list goes on with all the people I've worked with. And I would just sit there up in the booth and look down and just say, oh my gosh, one day I will be doing that. And it's wonderful to be able to do that now and, kind of follow those dreams and be part of the scene now.
That was a wonderful moment in San Francisco performance history.
It's great.
In our last few moments, tell me why you think these scripts hold up. I mean, there's some TV sitcoms that couldn't bear 4 drag queens hacking at it.
Again, it's the writing. It goes right back to the writing. Facts of Life can't hold up. Designing Women doesn't hold up as well. I'm talking about 80s sitcoms. Cosby Show, the 227, like the writing is just not there to sustain time.
Right. Well, and as you say about these people in the masters, now we live in a time when older people are reinventing themselves all the time.
Yes, I was just talking about Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's like, why isn't she working? Well, she's got enough money, but she's still beautiful, and she should be. And we just had our opening weekend, and it's going to be wonderful. You can still get tickets at ticketfly.com.
We'll be there. We've been speaking with Cookie Dough. Next up, we're going to learn about another type of performance, GAPA Gay Men's Choruses. We'll be right back.
Wonderful.